What's up, everybody? Adam Green here with No More News. How are you all doing? Got a huge show for you tonight, Sunday, May 5th, 2024. We got some guests today joining it back on the show. Big Tech and Primordial Chaos is here. Let's see before... Where are you guys? Nope. Can you guys hear me? There. Boom. What's up? You're not coming in now, Big Tech.
Coming in, what do you mean? Audio?
Video.
We don't see your video.
Don't see anything?
There you are.
Okay, there you are.
What's up, guys? Good to be back. Good
What's
to be here for the ZIOWARS.
Yeah, we're doing the ZIOWARS today. We got some recent news to cover, some things I want to get into and talk about with you guys, but I think we were all just listening to the big space that's happening right now with Fuentes and talking to a few other big names. Does the chat want to hear us go tune into that and keep listening and see if it's at all entertaining, or should we just get on with the news? What do you guys think? Let us know in the chat. I think there's how many?
Tell us, chat.
Did you guys see?
I was saying, yeah, I think it's a big deal.
How many people were in there the most? It says 28,000 right now.
A lot of people are tuning in. A lot of people want to hear Nick.
My camera just cut out again.
Of identity he has there, but which is fine. Who cares? That's his prerogative. But what I find hard to understand
I gotta
is
apologize.
the people who
My
listen
system
to the
is
things he's
messed up. My
saying
main
and that they
PC
conform and agree. I mean,
fried.
I've seen what the Groypers look like.
And I had
They
switched to
come
my
in all
backup.
shades and colors and religions. The fact that they can
You're
make
coming
it
in fine.
with Nick Fuentes
I'm
as
coming
their
in
From the
quote-unquote
cabin,
leader,
from the log cabin.
I like reinstalled OBS and I'm like building my layout and I just got all my
pornography.
mixed
I like this
Him
big
having
technical
porn
difficulties.
on his
Yeah, for
on
real.
his computer and being exposed for it, but then denying it and not alone.
That was
porn.
bad. I see some people saying news.
Mario, I don't
News.
Who is this guy?
Okay, you're right. We can play highlights if we need to. People clip up if anything important.
Yeah, maybe just
going
sitting and listening to the space. Would
Yeah,
be
a bunch of
I
guys.
think Nick coming back on Twitter is news.
Mhm.
Elon letting him back on. It's very interesting. It's going to affect the conversation a lot.
Interesting timing, too, with the bill coming out just as he gets back on. Don't think that's a coincidence.
And the narrative about the rise in anti-Semitism in Edom.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I got a headline just of that today. Let's see here. Anti-Semitism surging, report finds. They act like we've never seen this headline before, by the way, right? Prompting fear for future of Jewish life in the West. Or, anytime I see them saying West, that just translates as Edom to me. I'm sure this is citing the ADL. 103% increase in incidents fueled by Gaza war. Global report shows France stands out with near quadrupling of cases.
We've seen them run with that headline for years now, and they just pick and choose whatever's popping up in the headlines to kind of restate that, fake, complete 103. How do they test that? What is that based off of? It's totally arbitrary.
Right. And but it's the overall narrative of the anti-Semitism is rising on the college campuses. They're saying it's just like the 1930s Germany. Now on X with Elon now and everything that's going on now, the big grand return of Fuentes. I saw too, if you Google search it, it's like all the big leftist mainstream media, all neo-Nazi white supremacists allowed back on Twitter. So that's the narrative that they're all going to be pushing so hard, I think, when Trump gets back in, right? The Esau, Edom, Christian nationalism, Christian anti-Semitism boogeyman.
I think they are in trouble. I think they're going to press the fears because that's where they get a lot of traction, of course. But I think it's also real. I think they are. They're in a spot. You know what I mean? That's what I think. I think they've
Are they,
overplayed
though?
their hand a lot. I think
Congress just passed another bill for him. They passed the billions to defend him. They're going to get Trump back in. Trump's going to come in and be the savior of Israel. You think they're in a bad spot now. Wait till Trump and Kushner get in.
Well, Israel's one part of it, a big part, the state of. But I just mean, in general, the sentiment toward religion, religious tolerance of Abrahamism, of all of its flavors, it's in a weird spot. I think it's in a weird spot. I think we're coming into a very shifted age. And really,
I agree,
really quick,
and I think there's a lot of unspoken wake ups to Abrahamism in particular. People kind of silently realizing what the implications of these religions really are, and how destructive they are. Who knows how open, they maybe they don't want to break their communal bonds or family, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I think a lot of people are realizing. And that does put Israel in a tough spot because of how much the religious stuff benefits them.
Are normies waking up? Are our politicians being affected? Is the media largely changing though? Or is it just like a little bit in our side of the internet?
That's a good question. Are we just in a like echo chamber?
Is there base stuff all over YouTube now or something?
Well, I mean, they had to shut down TikTok because TikTok was getting too gnarly with the sort of like anti-Israel stuff. Like that's why they shut down TikTok, or they passed that thing. And it's because they had to protect themselves, because the only place where things aren't radically against them is where they have like a sort of forceful control, and those forceful control systems are being challenged by Elon buying Twitter. And then that's why this thing is relevant with Nick coming back on. Like the fact that Nick is being allowed back on after Alex.
Isn't it interesting that they're the two big grand returns? Well, and it's like, are they really the alternative? Like, I'm sorry, but the promoting like Christianity and Trump doesn't seem like an alternative at all to me.
No, it's not exactly. I mean, and especially not to you, but it's not exactly an alternative. It's still sort of there's a big Venn diagram overlap of what they believe and what a Jew would believe. So it's sort of just like it's part of a controlled dialectic, but it does represent on another way, it absolutely does represent an alternative, because like it's an alternative to trusting the narrative of the MSM. And so even within the MSM, it's like Islamophobia is normalized. Secularism is normalized, but like Semitophobia is not normalized. And so they say anti-Semitism. I just thought of it today. I don't know if anybody says Semitophobia, but that's kind of like, I think that's just more, I'm a little bit concerned, a little bit spooked out by Jewish influence. Yeah,
Semitophobia. Semitic phobia.
I'm Semitophobic.
That's funny.
But I'm not anti-Semitic, but I might be a little Semitophobic. That might be
counter-Semitic. That's David's word. He likes that one.
Phobic. That's so funny.
But
Adam, you mentioned those two names, Alex Jones and Nick. Back in the age of the mass censorship, those were the two names that really laid out the groundwork for the rest of the censorship, right? And now they're getting the red carpet treatment back on social media. It's like they initiated it, and now they're all coming back. Interesting there.
I think Alex is the case on that. He wasn't the first to get banned, but he was like one of the first big names to get banned everywhere. But I think Nick stayed on YouTube longer than I did, definitely longer than Alex Jones did. But I mean, yeah, everybody, I've been censored almost all the same places as those guys besides Twitter. And then it's like some people, when they get censored, it just makes them more popular. And there's tons of other people that have been censored from Twitter with big accounts that nobody's even mentioning their name, and they're not getting their accounts back. So it's very selective.
Well, I think I don't know. I think it's not easy to see through it. It's kind of hazy. I don't know what the agenda is, but it does. I don't think that them coming back is some sort of like, it's not really like an absolute victory, but it does signify something. I don't know exactly what it signifies, but And maybe they're bringing him back because there's another degree of some sort of psyop that they're about to run through doing that, or maybe it's just a completion of a cycle. It's not easy to know how to interpret it yet. But like you said, if they were the first ones to be like ultra banned, the fact that they're coming back on, and it's going to be dripping in. If it goes further than Twitter and X, we'll see. I mean, Elon with X. I mean, it's not like Nick is back on YouTube. It's not like he's back on Twitch. It's not like he's back on Discord. It's not like he's back on the payment. It's like not everything came back. It's just one social media platform has allowed him back on, but it is a big one, and it's only because of Elon. And Elon is an anomaly. I don't exactly know how to interpret Elon. On his face, he's one thing. I don't know if it's to be taken on his face or not. But it could be sort of like a crack, you know? It could be that Elon is just part of their agenda, but it could also be that he's creating like a crack in what Tate calls the Matrix, right? It's a crack in the Matrix. And so just because Nick and Alex aren't, you know, they're still on the Christ-like plantation or whatever. They're still on the Abrahamism plantation. They still believe in Abraham and Moses and miracles and Jew God. They are still, though, talking about things that you're not supposed to talk about. So it's, in a way, to me, it represents the normalization of talking about things that you're not supposed to talk about. Mm-hmm. They do that. I can't take that away from them.
That's true. Like just, you know, Zionist power, Jewish power, anti-white stuff. It's good that that's being talked about. I'll agree with that. But still, just like the concept, if it just boils down in my head the way I see it, it's like, okay, what are you really saying? Is the solution more Christianity? Like I saw somebody just post, like I think it's like 9 in 10 in Congress identify as Christian. Like I see Christianity, the number one Christian sect in America is Christian Zionists. So you're asking for more Christianity. Like, isn't that just inevitably?
What do they want? 10 out of 10?
Yeah,
like would that be better?
I see that as the problem. Like, why are all of our politicians bowing down to Israel? It's because so many of them are Christian. Is a large part of it.
Major part.
Let's play this first clip. This was really funny news going around this week. It's like every single time situation. These frat boys that are fighting with the Palestine protesters. Which campus was this on? Do you guys know? This particular one?
I don't remember which.
Maybe it'll say.
That was. That one's hilarious.
But he's on Fox News, of course. They've got the American flag up here.
Yes. Joining us now, one of those fraternity brothers, UNC student, is Isaac Mala. Isaac, what motivated you to defend the flag?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. And I'll say, when we talk about motivation for the flag, the primary reason I was on that quad, right, before this ever even began to become an American issue, I was on there because I'm Jewish and I'm Orthodox, and a lot of members that were holding up that flag were. And so we were there really just kind of holding up our Israeli flags and trying to stop hate, and there's been a lot of anti-Semitism around the country. So we were there first and foremost for our country of Israel.
First and foremost for our country of Israel. And of course,
it's not about the American flag, it's about Israel.
Is this not so symbolic how they'll wrap themselves in the American flag really just for Israel? It's completely for Israel.
And then the boomers eat it up. They go, that's right, that's America. That's us.
Look at those patriot Zionist Orthodox Jews over there with that American flag. They love us. Boys. They care about freedom and Judeo-Christian values. They're God's chosen people.
They're on our side, obviously.
They're a what?
They're on our side.
They're on our side, right?
Yeah.
What, you going to be with those commies?
Yeah.
John Garadas for 50 says we need to acquire the same arrogance and determination as the Small Hat tribe. Look at how far they got. We can do this. We have the numbers. Their only weapon is mind control and employing the weak-minded against us. Also, love seeing Primordial evangelizing on Twitter Spaces. Have a great show, guys. Yeah, you guys are both doing well in the spaces. I enjoy when you guys chime in when I'm listening.
Nice. Yeah, that was a great comment. I think this is what I mean. I agree with that last super chat that, you know, there's nothing wrong with taking a play out of the enemy's book, right? And if they developed a tactic that works well in the they kind of paved the way in, media manipulation and narrative creation. and they've shown, that because of or they got chutzpah or whatever. So over thousands of years, they kind of stole our fire in a way. You've been exposing it more than anybody else with the institution of Christianity that gave everybody like this sheepish, literally like sheep, following
the shepherds.
The shepherd, yeah, the meek slave sheep who will just. It's not about this life; it's about the afterlife. Pride is the ultimate sin. You will just do as they tell you, and that's sort of like the virtue of Christianity is to not question. Really, it's actually just believe, follow the rules, be meek and mild, forgive everybody who pisses in your face, and just take it. And that's Christianity at the end of the day. There are a few exceptions here and there, but we don't have a national concept of like Jews, they ingrained it in their culture. They call it chutzpah. It's like, yeah, go out there, be bold, shake shit up, subvert your enemy, all of this stuff. Like they teach it to each other and they instill it into each other as children and get over on the enemy. And we don't think about it that way. And that costs us. So we have to like rediscover what it means to like live in the world with some balls and not just
I'm sorry.
Where are our fangs? Yeah. So we need to become predators again, and we need to start operating with that type of mentality, like that a predator lays in wait for the enemy to make a mistake and then he pounces. That's what I mean. I don't mean like a violent predator with shooting or something like that. I mean like you are intentionally tracking the prize and then you go take it. And then you feast, and then but we don't do that. We just wait for, if I'm humble enough, I'll go to heaven when I die. And by we, I mean like too many. We lost the flame.
On the space we were just listening to, I heard someone saying that like, oh, we're Christians, so we love our enemies. Like we don't hate anybody, we love our enemies. And I hear that Christians saying that. Yep. And then I hear Shmuley Boteach with his book Kosher Hate, and I think about how they talk about hating Amalek, right? Their enemies. It's about hating them and blotting them out and destroying them. So very contrast view.
Well, what's funny is that it's not actually not what they intend, but when you hear many of the so-called anti-Zio Christians say, "Oh, Christianity and Judaism are polar opposites; they're diametrically opposed," right? Now, clearly, they don't mention it this way, but in that ethical context, they are. One tells you to be, to take it like a cuck and be a sheep. The other tells you to hate. Which one is kind of going to be more
turn your other cheek? Thinking? In Total Yeshu, the Jewish life of Jesus, they actually they say, Jesus says, Christians, turn your other cheek to the Jews. It says that in there. ABX89 for 100 says, I found out that you were expecting a daughter. Congratulations. Great news. Best wishes for you and your family. You deserve all our support. Everyone to support Adam. Greetings from Argentina. Shout out Argentina. So based.
Very nice.
Appreciate you, ABX89. For the daughter fund.
Yeah, that rules. Hey, can I say something about daughters? I wanted to say this to you, Adam. I know how excited you and every father is to have a boy, so that you can throw the ball around and you can have your little guy, and you can have a male heir. Everybody wants that. That's totally normal. However, I want to say, if we want to get our population numbers up, if anybody's concerned about getting the numbers up, putting numbers on the board, what we really need is daughters. Because if you do the math, say you got a desert island, a simple analogy, right? You got a desert island and there's 6 people on it.
I don't like this. I don't like this story.
Check it out.
You're talking about my daughter having lots of babies with lots of dudes, or what are you saying?
No, dude, no.
Okay.
Follow.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
If there's 1 girl and 5 guys, how many babies can you have per year in that community? About 1.
Less than 1.
About 1 a year. She can have 1 every 9 or 10 months, and then a couple months later, maybe she can get pregnant. Yeah, if you're really putting them in there, she can have about 1 a year, maybe a little less. Yeah, but if it's 1 guy and 5 girls,
you're talking about my daughter like she's like a bitch at a kennel at a puppy mill or something.
Okay, Adam. Okay, if a man and a woman can make 1 baby a year, A man and 2 women can make 2 babies a year. A man and 3 women can make 3 babies a year. You only need one guy. In order to make more babies, you need more mommies, is what I'm saying. If you adding more guys to the mix does not make more babies. Only adding more women to the mix.
Okay, I don't know how much you're making this better right now. Now I really wish I had a boy for his sake on that island. All right, hey, what do you guys think?
You're making it weird. I'm making a good point that you're missing. Understand my point, Adam.
Chat says you're being creepy, Big Tech. Please stop. Harem pills.
I'm not a father, so I won't chime in.
Who gives birth to the babies? Is it the mommy or the daddy?
Chat says makes sense. He's making a lot of sense. He's not wrong.
Who gives birth to the baby? The moms or the dads?
Okay, yeah, together. They do it together.
No, they don't do it together. The mom gives birth, dummy. Adam, who gives birth?
She's going to be with one man her whole life, so
Adam.
So the math is the same either way, whether it's a boy, a man, or a wife.
Moms for births or dads for births?
Do you think that my daughter will have more kids than my son would? See, it doesn't even make a difference.
Adam,
Stumped.
if your son has multiple wives, he will have more kids.
Oh, okay, so he's Muslim now? Or Mormon?
Adam, in order to have babies, you need more mommies. You can have one guy, he can have 1,000 kids.
You're like Andrew Tate. You're like Andrew Tate saying that the West needs to get a bunch of become Muslim and get a bunch of wives.
Okay, this is the last
You're
time
trolling.
You a bone. You just totally not listening to me. Oh my god,
nihilistic. Okay, hey, what do you guys think of this guy on campus?
I'm gonna leave this call if you don't acknowledge my fucking point. Adam,
which point?
Who gives birth to the babies?
Obviously, the women.
And if you want more births, what then do you need?
You need both.
No. You're wrong.
Are the girls?
If you have one woman and one man, and then you add another man, do you get more births?
One woman,
no.
One man, add another man. If you add another man, do you get more births? No, you don't.
Adding a man to the equation doesn't get another birth, but adding a woman gets another birth.
Okay, more women. That means more men can have women to have babies. That's
it means more. Dude, you're talking
more
about
women for the men,
relationships and who's fucking who and stuff. You're being weird. I'm saying in order to have more births, you have to have more women. You don't even actually have to have more men.
I thought you were going to say something like she'll be your little princess, or she'll take care of you when she's older, or they're gay. Easier. They're not as rowdy. I thought you were going to say stuff like that about having a girl.
Maybe you're a girl. No, it's not about that. It's not about how much you love your little princess. It's about if you want to get the birth numbers up, you need daughters, because daughters become mommies, and only mommies can give birth. So if you want more births, if you want to increase the birth rate, you need birthing humans, which are females. You don't need more males to get the birth rate up. You need more females to get the birth rate up. You can have one male can inseminate 1,000 women.
Have you thought about this a lot, or is this just like something that just came to you? Because you're like, hey, Adam, daughters. I wanted to tell you about daughters. It's like,
I'm throwing you a bone. I'm saying it's great. Okay. You're adding to our ability.
Everybody should be thanking me then. Yes.
Adam,
everybody should be thanking me.
If you had 2 sons, are you helping get the birth rate up? No.
This is why when they wanted to get the birth rate down in China, nobody wanted daughters.
That's right. If you only have sons and you eliminate the daughters, what happens to the birth rate? It collapses. So you want to have daughters.
That is true. A lot of Eastern Asian countries have male-female problem, like population problems because of that sentiment. Right.
So in order to make the numbers go up, you have to have daughters.
Oh, right.
You don't need more. You need to have a few. You need to have enough men, but 100 men can inseminate 10,000 women. No problem. You got to arrange the relationship, but they can send it out in a vial. It doesn't matter if you wanted to get the numbers up, but you just need wombs.
I thought about that. Arranging when you have daughters, the idea of arranging in a relationship sounds not so bad.
Yeah, should. And we're coming into a weird future. But the point is, unless you want to have them birthed in like machine birthing pods controlled by AI or something, you're going to have daughters in order to have.
I think I might name her Eve, because of this conversation.
To have white babies, you need white ladies.
Adam and Eve. I said no to biblical names, but because of this conversation, like she might be the last person ever alive and need to repopulate the planet. So, Eve, you like that? Just kidding.
No.
Definitely not Eve.
No.
All right, let's get this back on track because we got
What
some
do you think about the name I proposed? I think Andorra, I think, is a beautiful name. I think that was it.
Oh, like what, the planet on
Wait, did I say it right? No, what was
Avatar?
the name of it? I'm not really. No,
Pandora.
No,
Like
That's Pandora.
where
No, it's
where
Pandora.
avatars live.
Andorra,
I remember
isn't
that.
that's like Star Wars.
damn. Maybe what was it? What was the one then? I don't know. I don't know Dutch names very well. We've been too Judeo-cucked with our names. But
There's gonna be
but it means like
Hebrew
Thor's
names.
Eagle. It's one of the name of the
European
Valkyries.
names.
One of the Valkyries has a very beautiful name.
Chat says that there's going to be birthing pods by the time she's grown anyway. So
It's true.
so all the math you just did, the whole theory could be out
Everybody's
the window.
saying I'm being weird about it. No,
This-
Adam was being weird about it. Adam's like, oh, you're making my daughter into a.
I was trying to make it
fucked by
funny.
Different guys. No, it's the opposite. No, in my
I mean,
scenario,
that
one
is an
guy
argument from
has
the
a
Tate
bunch
side.
of women.
That we
One
all should
guy
be
creates-
polygamous Muslims. That is something that they kind of say, you know. So
Yeah. Well, polygamy is based. Men should own women, and a rich man should have many of them. The only reason we don't do that anymore, you know why? Because Jews took it away from us with Christianity. Christianity made us monogamous.
They had monogamy in. I'm sure they had monogamy in Rome and Greece.
yeah,
People have been jealous.
they were
Jealousy
pre-
started
there
long
was no
before
rule
humans.
against- there was no rule against polygamy. There was
There's-
no rule against a concubine. There was no rule against anything like that.
not in the same sin kind of context. Oh, you're sinful. You're breaking God's law for marrying. Maybe not in that context. But I
only
think
the
monogamy
slaves
was
could
more.
have only one wife. Yeah.
Right.
One wife is a slave mentality.
I think it certainly was based on the social strata. That was probably a
Yep.
big reason.
Yep.
So, what do you guys think of this? These Jewish kids on campus say the young Maccabees have a GoFundMe trying to raise $50,000 to rally against campus anti-Semitism. Pretty base, no?
Yeah, super base. Had perfect visual optics, right?
Young
for the
Maccabees.
whole-
Amazing.
Is that
Yeah.
what they call themselves?
Not surprising that Fox News would have them on.
Yeah, Fox is shilling this all for the boomer audience, for them to see that all the white-coated students, all the based Jew students are protesting for Zog against the lefty communists. All the brown students, and then meanwhile the liberals are using the visuals of that to kind of like compare it to civil rights era protests and how this is such a major deal and how racism is so prevalent. It fits almost every box for what people want it to be, instead of the truth, which is how we should all rally behind what's going on.
Yeah, and it's very symbolic too, how they're like, they're literally holding up, wrapping themselves in the flag, and then they say they're all Jews and it's all about all for Israel. This is like the microcosm of what they do on the grand scale. Pretend to be American patriots when it's really just. In fact, I have a quote from Michael Collins Piper where he says like exactly that. Like, so America first, make America great again. Is this basically? It's really make Israel great again, and all working for Israel.
This is clearly the Jacob wrapping himself in the goat skin to pretend he's Esau.
Yeah, pretending to be Esau.
Yeah, it goes all the way seemingly back to that. And the same wrapping yourself in the flag or wrapping yourself in goat skin doesn't matter. It's the same idea.
All right, now we covered in the last stream this girl who claims she got stabbed in the eye by a Palestinian flag. Turns out she works for the Free Beacon fighting anti-Semitism and got paraded all around on the news to tell her story, how she was attacked. And it, with her eye perfect, by the way. And then we had, which one was it? Oh, shoot it. I thought I had, what is this? Oh, she's... Sorry, but this is the new one now. Zionist fakes attack on himself. We had the girl also that called the police and was like, she said she's Jewish and she needs help and she's being trapped. Come help her, please. I'm hurt. They're hurting me. Here's the new dude.
Dude, don't hit hit me with your fucking flag.
We can't hear it, but I see it.
False accusations, hit me with that flag again and see what happens.
I mean, this has been their MO since the start of these protests, is to enter into it. Oh, there we go. Now we hear audio.
Mm-hmm. No,
But this is what they've been doing the whole time. Yeah, enter into it, cause confrontations, and try to get it all for the clips and the videos to make themselves look like the victims.
Mm-hmm. Another example that illustrates on the grand scale what is always being done. They want to go in there. They want to try to provoke them to say something. They want to try to provoke an attack so they can claim a victim. And this is what he does. He bobs his head forward to claim that he got hit by the flag. Probably the same shit that happened with the other girl. Probably didn't even hit her eye, and she just said it did. Here it is. We'll play.
Dude, don't hit me with your fucking flag. Dude, don't hit me with your fucking flag. False accusations, hit me with that flag again and see what happens. Do not hit me with that flag. Shame on you in front of children.
In front of children.
I take the video. Check the video. Okay? If we have mutual ancestors,
no,
you should be ashamed.
Never.
That's a weird comment.
I know. If we have mutual ancestors, what's that about?
Talking about Canaanites that they took over. I mean, that's a very. What is he referring to?
So weird.
Perfectly illustrates what they're doing here. And then he goes, check the flag. Just like psychopathic levels of playing the victim and lying and deception with behavior like that. Sickening.
The chutzpah.
The chutzpah. That's why they got the word for it.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, also hate America. Joe Biden, very early on, should have said,
you lie. But if you get away with it, you get away with it. You win, you win.
Who said that? Who said that? You?
Well, I don't know. That's their MO. I don't know.
Okay.
That wasn't a quote.
Gotcha.
Joe Biden, very early on, should have said, as I asked him to do back in October, if you're in the streets of the United States, you're here as a visitor on a visa. Okay, you're not an American. You're here on a visa, and you're here to teach, or you're here to go to school, and you're out there chanting on behalf of Hamas and Hezbollah and these terrorist groups, who, by the way, also hate America. We should revoke your visa. If you are here in this country as a visitor on a visa, and you are defacing statues in George Washington, ripping down American flags, putting up Palestinian flags, you should have your visa revoked and eliminated. Joe Biden, very early on, should have.
It's funny how he didn't call for deportations when BLM was happening. He didn't say that shit. But I mean,
we can't hear that clip, Adam.
Oh, really? Oh, stupid, dude. This
You just gotta
program
put it in the same window.
What's that?
You got to keep your clips in the same window.
They are actually in the same window.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I heard a little. I was playing it live. I heard a little bit. He's saying, "What? Revoke visas and take their citizenships away." Just all, you didn't see any of this massive police crackdown on any other protests besides this one. I haven't seen the level that they've gone to. This.
You guys see this? The featured speaker or VIP to the AFPAC, Suleiman. These tweets that people have been sharing around. Like he says, Britain was a white country. No, it was not.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an anti-white Muslim. Or he's just not a white ally.
Pakistani Muslim living in England, doing debates, big high-profile debates about American foreign policy, and saying Britain was not a white country. No, it was not. An immigrant to Britain promoting the idea that they never were a unified nation of one ethnic group.
All these people have the same MO. The Jews want everybody to become, well, not Jewish. They're going to say Jewish, but they want everybody to become Noahide and philo-Semitic. Christians want everybody to become Christian, and the Muslims want everybody to become Muslim, regardless of race. And so they're all so the Muslims and Suleiman, he doesn't mind if it all gets browned out. He doesn't He doesn't have any
That's
affinity
not
for
his
us.
care. He doesn't care about that.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care if they come over. He's like, good, yeah, we're coming in, we're taking over your thing. Yeah, it wasn't always yours anyway. Why would it be your country and not ours? If we win, and you all should become Muslim. And
Spencer
anyway,
says, based Christian Groyper siding with the anti-white Muslim Britain invader. Anti-white.
Well, I've seen a couple arguments from the Groyper side defend that, the J revealing is the most important thing. The anti-Zionist talk, that should be number one, and we should all put our differences aside to have that be the main thing. And then it just shows that this is so.
They don't put their differences aside, though. They say this is a Jesus movement and Christ is king, and nobody's, if you're against that, you're a satanic demon, and you have no future in this world. So they don't say that.
About things that are online confined and thinking, the no real world connection. This is it.
But a Christian from any place, or Muslims that believe in Jesus from any place, they're all okay. Those are the allies. That's who the alliance is. But have you noticed, like, the pagans? It says the pagans are the problem. Tucker tweeted that out. I'm seeing a bunch of people promoting that thing, like, oh yeah, it's the pagans that are the problem in this country, as if.
Yeah, he had a whole show, like an hour-long episode dedicated to talking about how the elites are all pagan. It kind of seemingly read out of Alex Jones's playbook, the same playbook. Globalists are, out to get us. But Tucker completely leaned into the whole Christian nationalism thing very recently.
Mm-hmm. Miscellaneous Vids for 25 says, what do you guys think of all these people converting these days? Adam Curry, No Agenda podcast. That's another big one. I've seen his big conversion publicized. He was close with Alex Jones too. Went on a bunch of Alex Jones's shows. And Eva, whatever her name is, the Dutch blonde on Tucker, Russell Brand, Candace Owens, all declare themselves Christian now. Clown world gets more and more crazy. Pagans
mostly
equals
Roman
whites.
Catholicism they're converting to.
Yeah, I think you're right. Russell Brand, yeah.
Brand is the Catholic. Candace Owens, the Eva Dutch girl, they're all Roman Catholic now.
Yeah, who was the first name that he said? Adam Curry. I'm not sure about him. But yeah, I did see stuff about him. They're all promoting that right now. Spencer says 9/11 to make it to 201. Appreciate you for that. It's me, Brother B says in 2019, Trump said anti-Semitism should be punishable by death. I know. I saw that that clip going around Twitter the last few days. I covered that a bunch of times when it happened and had it in a couple compilations. Johnny 5 says Fuentes saying, quote, he loves everyone is pure dissimulation. Exactly what Nietzsche said. The Christian is 3 times the Jew. Pure dissimulation equals pure two-faced liars.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny 5 says, I agree with Big Tech. Polyamory is the way forward for whites, or extinction.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying that. All right, it's sort of impractical, especially in our modern world, right? We've congealed around a certain idea of how we love each other, which is very gay, by the way, in my opinion. And I sort of this whole my special snowflake and in marriage has been inverted. If I could just go off for a second, marriage is inverted. It used to be for the man. You would ask a woman to be your wife. That means she's going to serve you. She's going to sacrifice her life to be mothers for your children. She's going to give you children. She's going to care for them. Her body's going to be used up in this process. She's going to live in your home. She's not going to share herself with anybody else. She's going to limit herself from the rest of the world for you and be yours. You're asking her to do that. That's what the proposal was. Will you belong to me? Now it's the other way around. Now the man gets on his knee and says, will you basically let me be your hubby bubby and maybe treat you like a princess, and she gets dressed up in this princess dress and we throw her a giant party, and now your balls belong to her. Now if she catches you with anybody else, and if you're not bringing home enough bacon, and if you're not bringing her flowers and making her feel good, now she's going to fucking destroy you, and she owns your kids. It's like flipped. So that does need to get fixed, in my opinion. However, my point was not that every man should have a bunch of women. I'm saying if we wanted to get our numbers up, we need childbearing people, which is mothers. Mothers come from daughters. So to get the numbers up, if we were concerned about population, we don't need sons. We need daughters. We already got enough boys. But it's a blessing when you have a girl, because a girl can give birth to babies. If you want white babies, you need white mommies. That's all I was saying.
Got it. It's me, Brother B says, have you noticed the Palestinian protesters are wearing face masks, narrative crafting in full effect? Yeah, I did notice that. Well, that's because they're doxing them. And Tom Cotton and senators are saying, like, all these people need to be blacklisted from ever getting a job. We're going to ruin your life. You protest Israel and we're going to destroy you and dox you. And in fact, one of the guys at the university was doing monkey sounds at some Lizzo-looking girl, and they doxed him and are trying to get him kicked out of school and, blacklisted from ever getting a job. So I can understand why they would want to do that.
And then it's funny enough that the whole mask thing just 2 or 3 years ago was everybody was imposed to wear masks, and now apparently it's all offensive that these university students are wearing masks. And the Zionists want to reveal them, and they have their websites that post their pictures and call them anti-Semites, and I wouldn't want have that happen to me either. So
right. Kadir for 10 says, in Tacitus' ethnography of Germania, the Germans were strictly monogamous in 70 AD, and they would publicly drag and beat and shame adulterers. Monogamy in honor culture is Germanic and contemporous with warriors. Polygamy is for Fs who have nothing better to do. I was thinking that monogamy goes back even to like before humans, like different apes getting jealous over mating partners and stuff, or like once you have kids, it's like to raise the kids when they're young. Working
a lot
together.
of birds are monogamous. You see it in the animal kingdom too. Monogamy.
Yeah,
and
some of them
one
are.
partner.
Some of them pair bond. Most of them don't. Most of them, it's a lion it's one male and a bunch of females, and a gorilla is one male with a bunch of females. That silverback chases off the other males. Once they're of breeding age, he chases them the fuck out, and those are his women. And it's usually a male protecting his harem of females. That's the norm in nature.
Well, you said big tech, the inversion. Now it's polyamory, right? That's the opposite of the polygamy. And
now they don't even bond, right? Now
yeah,
it's
there's no bonding at all.
Orgy pile, yeah.
Exclusive monogamy is rare in mammalian species and uncommon among primate species, and not observed among great ape species.
Yep.
Monogamous pair bonds are valued by some human cultures. I mean, what are we reading this from though right now? Probably some LGBTQ site about pair bonding. Anyway, I liked your comment here. It gave me a chuckle, Big Tech.
Which one?
Your response to Elijah Schaefer. He says, it all comes down to their hatred of Jesus. That's what this fight against anti-Semitism is about. We need to draw a clear distinction between Christianity and Judeo-Christianity, a modern cult. Them saying Christ is king, be anti-Semitic, that was your red flag.
Yep. It's a Jewish virgin who gets sacrificed by Jews so that you can drink his blood and become Jew 2.0. That's it. It's a virgin sacrifice. You drink the blood and you become Jew 2.0.
The Jew 2.0, after drinking the blood, they'll go, oh, you're making it sound stupid, but I mean, that's the facts. That's what it is.
Literally how they explain
what it is. Yeah.
You go to any trad, and this is the funny thing, that the more trad you get, the more Christian, Orthodox, kind of Catholic you get, the more they explain it this way, right? The more they talk about the blood and how you need to eat the Eucharist and eat his body.
That's the initiation, is the Eucharist. I mean, and baptism, which is a symbolism of washing away basically any of your ethnic identity. In a way, it's like you wash away your old affiliations. Yeah. Now you're
a spiritual Jew. You wash away your Gentile
to a new cult, and then you drink the blood of the Jewish virgin.
When you're born again as a circumcised soul, circumcised heart, and a spiritual Jew.
By the way, a mystery cult recreation of the Yom Kippur ritual, which was done at the temple, but now it's like a weird kind of secret mystery cult initiation thing because the temple doesn't exist anymore. So that was one way the Christians were able to siphon that idea into their religion.
Yeah,
and they don't want to talk about that too. The Yom Kippur, even the priests don't want to make that connection.
Yeah, they're just desperate to be baptized and grafted into the chosen covenant and be the fellow heirs of the chosen people. It's annoying when they get so mad about Judeo-Christianity, the term, like when there's no questioning that Christianity emerged out of Judaism. That's what they mean by Judeo-Christianity. They don't say it doesn't, that term doesn't imply that it's the same religion, although they are very similar and have a common origins.
Yeah, I see it the same. That argument's the same thing. How like the word Jew isn't until it's like a recent word, and or that's just like the letter J wasn't pronounced, so it's not the same word. It's such disingenuous arguments there. Clearly, they understand what we're talking about. Any mainstream secular academic, everybody knows that it comes from Judaism, and they try to claim that that's also a pagan argument. Only the pagans claim that. That's not true. The Christians themselves claim it.
Oh no, everybody acknowledges it without question. I mean, they were all Torah observant and Jewish, waiting for the Messiah. The only people waiting for the Messiah were Jews. But all over Twitter, all I'm seeing about it's like the central issue of a large segment of the right wing is to be mad at Jews for killing Jesus. Like this is the most important issue on their minds. It's what the whole rift is about. They want it to be central, front and center in their platform. It's what it's all about. Sovereign Bra here says, you mad, Jews? That Jews killed Jesus. And then they say, I don't even get this meme. Jews, Jesus, they did nothing. Like, who shot them? This doesn't even make sense.
No, I think the meme's implying that like the Jews are claiming they did nothing wrong
right.
when they killed Jesus.
I know, but usually the meme has like another element to it. I said, are you mad that they gave you your savior? And Sovereign Bra correctly says, no, I'm glad they did. So you're glad that they rejected their Messiah and killed him so you could be saved and have your religion.
Yeah.
Are they glad that they're angry? Are they glad that they get the mad, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they get off. I mean, the Jews are supposed to not believe in Jesus until the end times. That's like what their role, right? That's what the role is that's supposed to be. So I say Christians are happy Jesus was rejected and crucified by the chosen people. And it's true. So all of this, it's like this facade that our big issue should be that they killed Jesus, which is, I believe it didn't even exist. It's a myth fulfilling prophecy.
Red herring.
They want to get so mad about this, but really at the end of the day, they're happy about it and they like it and think that the Jews had to do that. So like they carried out God's divine plan and wouldn't be saved if it didn't happen. It needed to happen for salvation to be brought into the world. So that it's like their anger with Jews is completely misplaced and just retarded. What do you guys think?
That's not even why they're really angry. That's the thing, is it's all just, they're just lying. The point is that they're lying. They're not mad at Jews for killing Jesus. First of all, if you ask them, is Jesus dead? No, he's alive.
Yeah.
Okay, well then how can you be mad at somebody for killing somebody who's not even dead? First of all, he's not dead to you, so what's the problem?
Yeah, he's the king.
Second of all, if they didn't do that thing that you're saying you're mad at them about, you wouldn't have your salvation. So it was all part of God's plan. He actually like tricked Satan by making them think that they could kill him. They fell into a trap so that he could overcome death. And it was actually like a double cross. So then why would you even be mad at them for that? They just played their part in the prophecy that you think that God gave. So it's all fake. It's all
third level, third layer,
they're
third
literally
level
just
layer.
trying to like manufacture rage against the system that they're trying to expose, which is like, but they're doing it in a stupid way. They're doing it in a lying, fake, gay way.
Two-faced, disingenuous. And there's a third layer that I've picked up on, which is they're very, they love to point out how the Jews are guilty because they claim the blood is on them. But wait a second, Christians, the blood of Jesus is what saves you. Yeah. You know, it's what gives you your salvation. It's so pretty much the Jews were the first ones to be saved. If you read it that way and get that context.
Yeah, and it says forgive him. I got something really interesting to show you guys, but forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. So he forgives them. The blood is on them and their children to purify their sins, right?
which every Christian would recognize. They would all say that, yes, the blood is what, and they all know that.
But no, instead they say that that means that the Jews are cursed forever, all their descendants forever, and every Jew today is guilty. And then coincidentally, some of these people also believe in the Khazarian theory, so they say that they're fake Jews. Like, remember the Stu Peters debate with Adam King? He kept saying, like, you say you're a Jew, but you're a fake Jew. You're an imposter, right? But you also killed Jesus. Like, you can't have it both ways, and people are just too stupid to even realize that they're contradicting themselves.
Or they're liars and they know and they don't care.
I'm of the opinion that we should outlaw lies. We should outlaw scams. We should outlaw
the Bible.
Who are, like, telling you something that's designed to trick you into a hazardous position. If they're trying to steal money from you, or if they're trying to scam you. So televangelists should be outlawed from doing what they're doing. All this stuff, I mean, it's not good for us. It's just like ripping off little old ladies who are, moved by the hypnotic music of the praise band and all that stuff. But then we should also be banning Judaism too. That's the only problem, is that we're only banning the retarded Christians who are trying to drum up hatred through their lies.
This Christian value of freedom of religion, I'm not into it.
We should ban this cult of ethno-religious supremacists who want to rule the world. We should ban that too. That shouldn't be allowed in our.
And that's the religion. So sorry.
Yeah, that should not be allowed. These people are a world supremacy cult that believe they're the chosen people of God, and their destiny is to destroy all of Rome and Rome's descent in the Western world. No, you can't do that here. Fuck you. Like, that should be not allowed.
Here's another one from this account, Smash Balls. The Bible says it pleased the Father to kill Jesus. So it's God's plan. His prophecy would have never unfolded. It's basically preordained. They had to do it according to as foretold in the scriptures. But then these small marginalized minority of Christians are like gonna get all upset over this and think this is the most important issue. It's such a dead end. It's such a limited hangout grievance. And if that's what dominates the opposition to Judaism and Zionism, is being mad, still worshiping their God, but being mad that they killed their Messiah that was meant to conquer you, you're already conquered.
Yeah, and so far it's dominated the conversation around this anti-Semitism bill. So they're doing it. They're winning.
Yeah, the anti-Semitism bill has all of these different things they list as anti-Semitism. All the Christians are mad that they can't accuse all Jews of killing God, but they're not even complaining about it's anti-Semitic to talk about the myth of a world Jewish conspiracy to rule the world. That when you could just read any verse from a number of verses from the Torah when it like explicitly says that.
Mm-hmm.
It's God's deliberate plan and foreknowledge to have Jesus crucified. The man was handed over to you by God's deliberate plan and foreknowledge. Jesus laid down his life voluntarily, but somehow these guys are all mad about this and think this is the most important issue.
And the line that it pleases God, that's in Isaiah, right? Which all Christians accept is talking about Jesus.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So.
And it's just...
Yeah, and the furthest extreme of it, they'll say that it was actually just Satan in the mind of wicked men that caused them to do it. So it wasn't even just because of it. At the end of it, you'll get an E. Michael Jones type or some, if you really drill down on the Christians, they'll almost all, like universally agree, yeah, pretty much we all killed Jesus.
Yeah.
That's basically the standing of the Catholic Church. Everybody who isn't saved and repentant from their sin and like redeemed and achieving theosis. So if you're not a saint, if you're not like totally, you're just like the Jews who killed Jesus. So it's really the blood's on all of us. And so the blood libel is universal. Mm-hmm. That's why we have to be redeemed, because we're all
Gentile blood libel. We all killed Jesus, but that's never talked about that way, huh?
And actually, what a lot of the biblical scholars and even Christians or Christian Zionists are saying now is that it was actually the Romans that did it, and then the Romans changed the story to blame the Jews later on. That's a very common thing that you'll see, and this is why the whole getting mad about them killing God is so stupid. Is that Christians can't even convince their own Christian believers that this should be an issue, because everybody knows that this is the story and they don't care that they were supposed to do that. It's part of the plan. Trust the plan. And they're in the comments and the replies like, "Oh, we all killed Jesus. So it's for all of our sins," or "You're a heretic." And
they're calling each other satanic, right? The anti-Semitic Christians are satanic, or the other side is satanic. That's what it devolves into.
Right. Let me share this one. Sneeko, who was also on that panel. Sneeko on the space, he said, it's the Zionist versus people that believe in God. That's what it boils down to. Like, does he not realize that Zionism is Yahwehism? That Yahweh is the God of Zion? Like, to say that people that are Zionist don't believe in God? It's all about their God and being... You can't be chosen if you don't believe in God to choose you.
Where is Zion? What does that word mean?
The holy mountain in Jerusalem, basically.
Yeah.
It's there right in front of us, and
It's a
nobody
bunch
wants
of
to.
Yeah, you're right, Sneeko. It's a bunch of atheists fighting over the Holy Land.
A bunch of atheist pagans. That's the Zionist.
Pagan Zion.
Pagan Satanist Khazars.
Yeah.
They're the ones doing it.
Tricom Nazis.
And then there was this with Suleiman here. This hot take.
I agree completely. Like I think Judaism is a good religion, regardless. Like people sometimes get upset. Like it's crazy. Like the echo chamber you have.
Yeah, Judaism, good religion.
And we should
Excellent.
definitely focus on Zionism. But what do you think about this? Think about this.
You know, they believe in God. They believe in
Judaism is a good religion, regardless. Like people.
Sorry, hold on. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it about Judaism that's good, Sneeko? What's the good religion of Judaism?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just Judaism. Good.
Well, you see, they're against the Satanists, like we are. They're against the all the evil in the world and all the pagans, atheists.
What's the difference between Zionism and Judaism?
Well, I think he said this before. It's not the first time him saying that he likes Judaism, but I think he's just repeating his Muslim arguments or Muslim defenses of religion.
Because they say it's Zionism, it's not Judaism. That's what they all. That's the big talking point that they always use.
And I think it's because they all subconsciously know that you knock one domino down and the rest go along with it. You know, so if you discredit the foundations, which they all accept that Judaism is the foundation, then it doesn't look good for their religion. So I think they all religious Abrahamists understand that there's kind of this unspoken mutual alliance that they have to all play up each other to survive, kind of, and have their religion be legitimate.
They protect like the foundations of the three Abrahamic religions. And when they say, "Oh, it's Zionism, not Judaism," and cucking and saying Judaism's a beautiful religion, like what are they implying that it's wrong to criticize Judaism? It's okay to criticize Zionism, but not okay to criticize Judaism? And it's so stupid. Judaism, people are so uninformed about this or deliberately spewing nonsense to say that like Zionism, they say it's secular and atheist Zionism. Like bullshit. The whole concept of Zionism and the return to the Holy Land was their desire for a long, long time before Theodor Herzl and any secular front got involved in this.
And again, this kind of dips its toes a little bit into conspiracy, but it's not. It is Zabbatai Zevi. He led an entire messianic movement that had millions, hundreds of thousands at least, but up to a million potentially Jews following him to the Holy Land, to Zion. And this whole thing about Exodus and exile, returning, going back, this is foundational to all biblical myth. Really, they have a whole book called Exodus where this is the story. So for them to deny that this return, going back to the land, of course this has religious implications.
And it's the same defense always too. It's the no true Scotsman fallacy. They'll say that's not real Judaism. Zionism is not real Judaism, as if the idea of a promised land and a return from exile and a temple and a Messiah isn't all straight Torah Judaism. And they just want to create some other thing to blame to not criticize what it actually is, the root. That's the no true Scotsman fallacy. And they'll always do the same thing too. That's not a real Christian. All the Christians with the power and the influence and dominate America, that's not real Christianity. So it's like Christianity can never be the problem when it's obviously how this has all been facilitated.
And Zionism isn't the only problem. And it's maybe not even the main problem in this whole situation with Judaism. Judaism itself, like the problem with the concept of what a Jew is, it's an ethno-religion. So there's an ethnic component too. And the ethnic component might be more significant than the religious component. The religious component is extremely problematic, but the ethnic cult that they have about themselves as this chosen, eternally persecuted people who, it goes back to the religious origins with the chosen people myth, but they endure even through the diaspora and into these other nations and into ours through a nepotistic cohesion with each other and a view of themselves as the eternal outsider underdog who has to stick together or else it's going to be another Holocaust. So even the non-religious ones who have essentially a stand-in for the religion, those who you would call a paganistic Jew, you mean like an atheist or something like that, the Holocaust becomes their religion. And which is really what that means is that their religion is that it's us versus them. And if we don't watch out, they're going to kill us. That gives them the right to then kill us first. And so you find them doing all sorts of, they latch on to socialism and communism and open borders-ism and transgender-isms. And you'll find them at the head, spearheading with their money and with their activism and with their journaling and all of the different ways that they can, authoring all these different ideas in the sciences and the medicine. Everywhere they go, they have in them an ethnic identity as an internal outsider that's, they sort of look like us. They can sort of disguise themselves as us, but they see themselves as different from us. That has nothing to do with Zionism. It's not Zionism that causes them to activate and be activists for open border policies. Or there's a lot of things that are doing that, even big business. But the different way that they use media, the different way that they affect our academy and our schools, and the way that they use money and banking to support this versus that. It's not just all about the state of Israel. Mm-hmm. It's about their survival in all of these different countries too. They're moving up into the ranks of government and leading institutions and grasping the levers of power so that they can change the scenario in that state, in that country, in that land to suit their survival as a race. It's not just about creating the state of Israel and it's not just about the third temple. It's not just about Zion reigning supreme over the world. It's about them surviving. They see themselves as somebody who has to fight us for their lives.
Yeah. Well, and you can see
not just
both the religious critiques and the leftist communist critiques of Zionism don't touch on that at all. What you're talking about, big tech, right? So it's a huge other picture of what's going on.
Right.
That's not in the conversation.
You've got you've got Jews that are anti-Zionist on both sides that are they're not on our side. It's like two sides fighting for Zionism, for against, but they all still do like things that are anti-American or anti-white or anti-Western or anti-European or anti-republic. They do all these things. They're pro-liberal. They need a liberal, multi-gender, multi-ethnic, racially ambiguous environment. That's where they're the most safe. When the more liberal the society is, the more safe they are. The more multi-ethnic the society is, the more safe they are. The more nepotistic Jewish control over the institutions they have, the more safe they are. So it's like they are, and I don't blame them for this. It's just natural if they've created this way of being as a people. But in order for them to survive, they feel like they have to take over. And through subversion and through subterfuge and through doing favors and through controlling, setting things up, they have these ways that they are making the scenario more cohesive or more conducive to their survival and comfort, which usually means taking away our survival and comfort. It comes at the expense of the rest of us. If we are strong, they feel weak. And if we are strong, they feel afraid. So they have to undermine our strength. They're doing what they can to remove our strength and our health, because a strong, healthy, robust Western culture isn't actually very friendly to these outsiders who want to subvert it and want to be separate from us, but among us. They want to use us, but not really be, integrated. They don't want to integrate. They want to stay separate. And that goes back to like an eternal complex of us against the world. It goes back to their religion. It goes back to their religious roots. But it's not because they are religious fanatics. It's not because of Judaism, the religion. It's not because of Zionism. It has to do with the race too. They have an ethnic origin identity. Even the secular ones carry that. And
yeah,
they
but
replaced
the
of
religion
Judaism with
has
all
always
kinds
dominated the culture, the Jewish culture, though. It's
for
like
sure.
the root of the identity. It's
Yeah.
until
the
recently, many of
racial-
them were believers too. There was much more religion, just like everybody was.
Right.
There's
And
way
the
less-
racial identity is clearly more molded by the myths, right? The Jacob and Esau. That's really the crutch behind all of this inversion between the two sides.
But the talking point they always say, "Oh, it's Zionism, not Judaism." It implies that it's not okay to criticize Judaism. There would be no Zionism without Judaism, and it's just this only scratching the surface and never going at the roots. They'll say it's the Talmud, but not the Torah, right? As if the Torah only, there's nothing problematic in the Torah, but really they can't condemn the Torah, neither the Muslims or the Christians, because all of their stories and their prophets and their people, their messiahs are all based on the Old Testament. And Christians do the same thing. Instead of saying recognizing Christianity as the subversion or the New Testament as the subversion, it's only the Schofield Bible that just had a little footnote that was different, that changed so much. Like
Right. Well, it has somehow commentary. Can
yeah,
completely
without
change
Schofield,
everything.
Christians would never think. Where would the Christians get the idea that Jews were chosen by God and live? There's a promised land where they're supposed to live. Like that's Schofield? No, that's the whole Bible basically.
Yeah, it's the whole Bible. Schofield
Almost every
just added
verse.
a bit of commentary that got popular in the Protestant churches, and in the commentary in the margin said this verse right here about if you bless Israel, you're blessed. If you curse Israel, you're cursed. That means that we as modern Christians should bless the state of Israel. That's just like one. That became an anchor point for the Hagis of the world, all the way back.
Well, it wasn't
They've
even
been
the
saying
state
it.
of Israel at that point. It was just like the Jewish
Right,
people.
exactly. But it was like the people, right?
Mhm.
So, but them as a people, them as a religion, them as a subsect, they are still valid, and we're to support them. That one little stanza in the commentary is Schofield, but the rest of the Bible pretty much says that, though. It's pretty much says that about them in a million different ways.
Yeah.
Schofield added a specific bit of commentary that got popular. So blaming it all on Schofield is a Christian cope. They're like, oh no, it's not what we believe. Schofield changed it.
And the Schofield subversion would have never been possible if Christianity didn't exist. There would be no Christian Zionism without Christianity. And if they didn't already believe the New Testament and of the prophecies of the nation of priests, then Schofield would have never been a thing.
Yeah. Yep. And if it wasn't part of Christian heritage, and it's like, so they'll say, oh, it's Schofield. Oh, it's just Vatican II. It's like, well, look, your shit was gay and cringe the whole time. And, they like to claim,
it's just been hijacked by Jews. They say Christianity's been hijacked by Jews, as if who do you think started it?
They go, Christianity.
Yeah, where's the hijacking?
They go, we've been the number one force against Judaism for all of the centuries. We've kicked them out 109 times. I'm like, okay, so 109 times you kicked the can down the road. Are we winning? Like, okay, 109 times you failed to crush the enemy. 109 times you failed to
109 times you let him back in.
Yeah, 109 times they left one Christian community and went to another one. That's what happened 109 times. Like they just went across. From Spain to France.
And how many 109? How many pagan gods were destroyed, and pagan temples and altars and statues were destroyed?
Yeah.
Also,
how many women were lynched as for witches and the pagans exterminated?
109 times they just converted to your fake Jew 2.0 thing for a little while and then went back. They just went converso underground for a little bit. They just went, oh, okay. Like 109 times you just let it slide.
And look where it led us to. Look at what the situation is today. So it's all of that led to a complete failure. It's like taking a medicine forever and then eventually still getting the disease.
Or you get
110. This time it's going to be different. We're going to convert them all, and they're going to all stay Christians forever, right, guys?
Yeah, we just got to vote more Christians in.
Shut up.
Sprinkle more water on them. But no, you're right, Adam. It's like a medicine that they've taken so long, they're addicted to it, but now it's harming them. The side effects outweigh whatever potential benefit there was to begin with, if there was any. Clearly.
What do you guys think of this story? This was pretty hilarious. Ben Shapiro on brand in Ben Shapiro fashion, he was challenging Candace Owens to a debate while behind the scenes working to have a gag order set up against her so she couldn't talk about Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro anymore. Did you guys see that one?
No, I haven't seen it.
So they're still working together pretty much.
No. He's suing her to get her to not talk about getting fired or not talk about Ben Shapiro and Daily Wire, basically. while publicly challenging her to a debate. And the type of debate that he
and have a big fight over who the Messiah is, right?
And the whole thing, it's so exactly everything that I'm speaking out against. Like, oh, she said Christ is king to him, and now she leaves and then goes and joins the Catholic Church. It's just like, oh, our new Christian hero. Like a couple of years ago, she was at the opening of the embassy with Trump, saying it's like with Charlie Kirk, got famous through TPUSA and Dennis Prager, all these big Zionists, and now it's like, oh, she's the opposition. She's the one that's sacrificed it all to call out the Zionist. Meanwhile, like she says the solution is the same as what John Hakey says. More Jesus. We need more Jesus.
More Torah, more Jesus. That's it.
What do you think, Big Tech? Are you there? You might have stepped away.
Dude, I told you I just fixed my stuff. I'm still figuring it out. I'm having more big tech difficulties.
Oh no.
All right.
But now I'm here.
No, but that's completely on brand for them to play this. It's such a show. It's all showy, and her like somehow she just like woke up one day and realized that the Catholic Church is the truth, and that's what she should know. It's clearly I don't know who's paying who knows how much what really is going on behind the scenes, but I definitely think everything we've been warning about, this controlled opposition, siphoning the dialogue into religion, into these make-believe non-entities that really have no opposition in true opposition. It's playing out like a complete script right now.
It's the dichotomy. It's the Esau-Jacob dichotomy, following the script, fighting over who the Messiah is. That's more front and center of the whole dialogue. It's fighting over them supposedly killing Jesus, and every knee will bow to the Messiah. That's like all I'm hearing out of these people. It's insane. It's insane how they're so brainwashed that they seem smart on so many other issues, but they're just like so blind to see how they're LARPing as Jewish wizards and spiritual Jews, and don't seem to get it.
Yeah, everybody knows about all the conspiracies except the biggest conspiracy ever.
Right. It's like they're playing along Dungeons and Dragons with the rabbis, pretending that all these prophecies and fairy tales are real. And that they really are the chosen people, and they really were the prophets of God, and all these end times things are going to happen. And they're not legitimate opposition. The whole thing is going to be the story, like the last 2,000 years, the story of the Abrahamic religions. Like thousands of years in the future, if we make it to like the time of Dune, they'll look back in the history books, and this will be like the Judeo era, because it's all under the Jewish.
1,000 years. The 2,500 years of the Judeo matrix,
right?
Whatever they'll call it. Mm-hmm. And I see in the comment right here, Hank something, Russian Orthodox priest dressed up as Jewish. Yeah, and you know what? Jay Dyer says that's what they're supposed to look like. They're meant to look like Pharisees. Mm-hmm. They dress up like that, have the beards out, because they're the new Pharisees. Mm-hmm. So. Mm-hmm. It doesn't sound too great.
Couple super chats here. Soothing Sound says, my aunt cucked my uncle to polyamory. He just wanted to be a family, and both are just left of Mao, and the kids have been neglecting during it all. Almost feral and have no idea how they will function. Doing drugs, parties, and dates became the priority. That's sad to hear. Yeah, I can imagine, not having the nuclear family can have some issues. $5 from It's Me, Brother B. Do you think the government will do like they did during COVID and have the corporations enforce anti-Semitism? Oh, absolutely. ADL is going to get their tentacles all over all the big BlackRock corporations and search everybody's social media if they've ever posted anything and get them fired for that, or you know,
They have to do it in the notice all these, except in countries like Canada, except that don't have the First Amendment. But the way that they get around the First Amendment by doing this clearly, you know, anti-free speech thing is to have it be in private institutions, right? All the colleges, the corporations, anything kind of outside of the government, you know, federal matrix is what they're going after to implement all these things.
Yeah,
so anything they can do.
They adopt the IHRA anti-Semitism definition, and then they find out anybody that's ever said anything like that, and that's grounds to be fired, because they fire you know, hate and racism. Teutonic Bear says, to accept Christianity is to outright reject the European spirit. Our racial spirit is tied to our people. Christianity has convinced Europeans that this spirit is original sin. Christianity has convinced Europeans that the true spirit is the Jewish spirit, and salvation comes from the Jews. That's what they've taught European
The way that
people.
plays out is that as Jews practice their religion, what happens? They get more Jewish. They become more of themselves. They become closer to their, you know, okay, you call it mythology, but to them it doesn't matter. They get closer to their lineage, you could say. And then what is it for the Christian? The Christians are told that you have to go away from your inherent self, that your inherent self is sinful. You're born in sin. You're evil. You're a Gentile. So you have to be less like yourself and change. And that's why they all do the baptism to die and get reborn. But yes, the Jewish religion tells the Jews to be more Jewish.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Christian religion is bow down on your knees to the God of Israel.
The European traditions were always ancestral, you know? It was always a
All religions were
to the ancestor. And the Jews have that. Theirs is ancestral. If you get Adam King on here, he's going to show you a book with all the genealogies that go
He
all
loves his ancestors.
He loves it. It's the ancestors. So it's like my father's, my bloodline. It goes all the way back to a root that has a spiritual connection to these traditions and stuff. So you can't take that away from me. Well, where's ours? Oh, yeah, it got replaced by Jew 2.0, Christianity. They told us to disconnect.
That tells me my ancestors are evil, sinners, bad people. They were
break all that down.
They worship demons. They were heathens and barbarians and would have no morals or civilization without the Yahweh.
They were homosexuals.
Terrible, terrible. The original sin of your ancestors has to be replaced by Jesus. Yeah.
The only way.
Yep. Did you guys see this story? This is a viral video, almost 700,000 views, with Richard Dawkins, the hardcore atheist that would always go against Islam, gets questioned about Palestine. He said that the protests were anti-Semitic. He gets questioned about it, and he throws a fit. So let's watch this real quick.
We're driven by anti-Semitism?
Yeah. I'm not, put that away. I don't do recordings.
Okay. Do a quick question?
Yeah.
All right. You said you felt that the students protesting were driven by anti-Semitism?
Yes.
Do you feel it's possible they're driven by horror at the slaughter in Gaza?
Do what, sorry?
Do you think they're driven by horror at the slaughter in Gaza? Is it necessarily anti-Semitism?
Of course they're not driven by the horror and the slaughtering. Oh, you mean...
the students protesting.
Well, are you recording this? I'm not, put that away. I don't do recordings.
Okay.
I'm not, put that
What
away.
a cop-out, huh?
I missed
Can't
that.
even
Who
just,
is that
just
guy?
agree to that.
It's Richard Dawkins, the most famous
my God,
atheist
I
in
don't
the world.
recognize him in the old age. Yeah. Yeah. So he said that it's anti-Semitism. Yeah.
Well, there's been a thing the last couple of weeks of how he's apparently embraced being more of a Christian now, or Christian values are good, kind of, right? That's kind of the narrative. I don't even know if he's outright said that, but that's the narrative around what Dawkins is doing. So that's probably why that video has gone viral.
Probably had to hang out with Jordan Peterson and whoever owns him now.
Yeah,
and no wonder now he
called
doesn't want
himself
to talk
a cult.
about a very.
Go ahead.
No, he just doesn't want to answer a simple question about Gaza and say, yeah, obviously they are.
Yeah, he couldn't even say anything about the slaughtered Palestinians. Just he gives his speech, says they're anti-Semitic. You know, I saw a good tweet on Twitter this week. Like, the term anti-Semitic implies that, like, any rift between Jews and anybody else, any conflict is never the fault of the Jews. You know what I mean? Because any type of thing, anytime any criticism, it's always called anti-Semitic. So it's like they can never be wrong. Like they're like above the law, and that there's never a legitimate grievance that anybody ever has with Jews. Yeah,
odd how that's also a religious principle they have. That's in their religion.
Mm-hmm. Blaspheming God, blaspheming is like blaspheming God's chosen people is like blaspheming God. That's what I've heard many times from the rabbis. Big tech.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're his people. They're the priesthood. You know, they're the generation of priests. That's how they see it. Like we are.
This
are God incarnate,
essentially. This total cowardice by the atheists is so. And I noticed how since October 7th, you really don't hear much from that. At least I haven't. Right, like the commentaries and from them, the atheists are almost totally driven out.
They support Israel. They support, if anything, they support Israel is what I've seen.
Right. Yeah, they've all coalesced under this kind of Judeo-Christian right-wing conservatism, pro-Israel stance. And
well, I think a lot of it too is that they believe that they're under the impression that Esau and Ishmael have always just unfairly persecuted the Jews, and they both have replacement theology. They both, persecuted the minority of the Jews. So that's why they take their side with the Muslims. And they take their side with the Christians. What?
Yeah, the anti-Muslim Zionists, they drink that Kool-Aid too. Mm-hmm. All of the rhetoric about that.
Mm-hmm.
Look, for me, I mean, I don't have, like, I'm a little cold, right? My ancestors were raiders. We go way back. Speaking of, I saw some in the chat. No, monogamy is pagan. Pagans were all monogamous, dude. My ancestors got in boats and they went across, and then they took what they wanted, and they killed the men and took the women. And raped and pillaged, and that's an old might makes right philosophy. And you go against the outsider and you slaughter your enemies, and that's just sort of like real. That's just real. It's natural, and we're working things out in statecraft and all that. So we've got international rules against certain type of things. My problem with Israel is that they're the only ones that are allowed to do it, in our opinion. Like, why do we give them special privilege? Like if Russia is like, no, you guys aren't, moving up on us, we're going to go back and take this territory in Ukraine. Oh, Russia is evil. But if Israel wants to do that in Gaza, oh, we must defend Israel's right to their land. And like, where's America doing it? Like, what if we wanted to go take Baja California away from Mexico? What if we wanted to make North Mexico into South Texas? Like, we would be monsters. Like, no, we can't do that anywhere. What if we wanted to like connect Alaska to Washington? What if we wanted to take Vancouver and make it ours? Everybody would call us evil. But if Israel wants to do it, it's like, no, they have every right. We support them. Why do only they have the privilege to act in this kind of way? And we have to support them. Well, Netanyahu will go, and you probably saw him today. Never again is right now. And if we don't do this, it's the Holocaust. They have this whole, because they're victims, they get to be the aggressor.
Mm-hmm. Everything's already set up. Everything's preordained. The narrative, it's all that biblical, really, for them.
Yeah, dude, you just said it. Because they play the victim, they can be the aggressor, and that's all of Judaism. Esau hates Jacob. They're persecuted. They're hated all over the world. That's the weaponized status that largely Christianity helped give them with this blaming them for killing God stupidity. Now, anytime something comes up, they're going to pass this bill through the House and the Senate because most people think it's insane to blame Jews today for killing God 2,000 years ago. That's not going to be your winning political platform and talking point.
It's major losing strategy.
It's the guaranteed to lose strategy. It's like it's handing them a win in a victim status and discrediting yourself on a silver platter is what it does.
That's what's so crazy about the college protests too, is that they've pushed this mindset onto the students so much and for so long that now all the students see it in black and white, which is whoever's the most underdog, whoever's the most of a victim, whoever's being hurt the most, whoever's the most oppressed, whoever has the least power is the good person, and whoever has the most power is the bad person. So it's all white supremacy, it's all patriarchy. If you have power, you're evil. If you're weak and oppressed, you're good. And so that's how they see it in that kind of dichotomy. So they look at Gaza and they go, well, Israel has a stronger force. Israel's dominating, so they're bad. So they're not anti-Zion. They're not like, they don't understand the issue. They just see victim Olympics.
Yeah. Well, to them also colonization, oppressor, these are all euphemisms for white people and white Western civilization. So if that's the situation going on, then clearly the Zionists can't be Jewish. Jews are the victims of history, right? They've been oppressed for thousands of years. So clearly this has to be some external conspiratorial force, which is what the kind of communist narratives are, that it's a white supremacist, colonial the British people are to blame for Zionism, actually.
Yeah, America and British. That's another one you always hear. Oh, it's a American white supremacist colonial project. That's really who's to blame, and that's how they have all these protests in the anti the left wing communist pro Palestine movement. That's their main talking point. It's actually they're all there in place protecting Jewish supremacy, and who's actually behind what's going on over there.
And it's a Duginist narrative. It's right in line with Dugin's plan, Dugin's narrative of the satanic West and how we're inherently evil.
Yeah,
for
the
different
Atlanticists,
communists think.
Bilderberg,
Yeah,
and Atlanticists, and that's Jay Dyer too. Jay Dyer is about blaming Britain for Israel.
There seems to be some dissent in the chat over what I said about the ancient European concept of conquest, and I don't get what they're. I don't get what they're saying. Like, are you going to say Alexander didn't just like spread the Roman Empire like crazy? Are you going to say that Europe wasn't full of turf wars for all of our history? Like, it absolutely was. But where are we doing any turf war now as Westerners? Where is the European colonizing and expanding aggressively and without shame now? Now we apologize and we do it subversively. We pretend we're not. We try to enforce everybody. We do it through like financial subterfuge. We don't just stand on business because we're Christians, right? Because we have to everybody's a sacred soul with the right to live forever.
Spencer for 14 sent in a quote here. It says, the anti-Semitism of the Christian socialists. This is from Mein Kampf. The anti-Semitism of the Christian socialists was based on religious instead of racial principles. The reason for this mistake also gave rise to the second error. It was obvious, however, that this kind of anti-Semitism did not trouble the Jews very much. If the worst came to worse, a few drops of baptismal water would settle the matter, whereupon the Jew could still carry out on his business safely and at the same time retain his Jewish identity. That is a good point about the conversions, how that's their biggest obsession is getting them to convert. So what they can inevitably did influence. Look at all the Jewish Christians all over YouTube with their huge channels. But I think the reason that they like Christian anti-Semitism is not because it's not racial, because they benefit from racial anti-Semitism too.
It's the discrediting nature of it being an argument.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Exactly. Mythologicized it is. And it's obviously, it's also not a real story. That never happened.
It's illogical. It's irrational. It comes off as immoral. And it doesn't work. It just gives them their victim status and makes you look like this psychopathic villain, religious bigot, persecuting the poor victims. That's look around, look at the real world, and that's what it does. That's the role it plays. Thank you for that, Spencer. And let's see, hour and a half. I think I want to wrap it up, guys. I got to pee, and I've got a bunch of rabbi clip videos, but I can save that for the next one. Where can guys find you? Final words, parting thoughts.
It's a fun little Sunday night panel. I'd like to see more of these. I think that's fun. Maybe we can get even more people in here. It's nice I think it's the first time that you and I have talked Primordial Chaos. Yeah. Nice to meet you. I'm Big Tech. Some of you guys know me in chat. I stream on kick.com/Big Tech. Kick's a great streaming platform. a lot of just like gamers and BS over there, but it's actually a really good platform for streaming. You can also find me on Odysee and Rumble, but most of my chat engagement and the fun, Kick is my main platform. Go to kick.com, make an account, follow my channel, please. Would love to have everybody over here come. I stream every day. So when Adam's not streaming, come hang out with me.
Cool. And I got my my ex firstborn son 1. And yeah, it's been a great time. Hopefully we do more of these panels.
Yeah, I plan to. I don't know about how much I like the program, but we'll have to work on it and we'll figure it out. Appreciate all the
I
big.
didn't shout my Twitter. If anybody's using X, you can find me on Twitter at Big Tech 404. I'm at Big Tech 404. Thanks.
And huge shout out to ABX89 for the big dono. And of course, John Garadas, as always, for the continued supports. Miscellaneous Vids, Spencer, and everybody else that supported. I love you all.
John Garadas, thank you, bro.
Yeah, John's the man. Let us know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. And support the channel. Join button on Odysee. Some of the videos are going to be, I'm going to be doing a lot more streams. Some of them are going to be behind the paywall for a couple days. So make sure to subscribe there or subscribe star in the description below, the P.O. box below, if you guys want to support through mail. Appreciate it. Love you all. See you again very soon. Thanks to the guests for coming on short notice and joining me. You guys can come back next time. And I will see you guys soon. Take care.
Peace.
See ya.